so in this video, I'm really excited to share with you some very practical, actionable steps that you can take to be more successful as a student while you're going to college and university. And these are also something that will be really useful to you throughout all of your life, learning the principles and the things that you could do in this video, the things that we're going to learn. These will benefit you in all of your life. Okay, so let's get started taking a look at this. And before we jump in and do it, however, I just wanted to point out that right here, right now, like I'm exhibiting great grit, and I'm also exhibiting the ability to prioritize and to be efficient and to get things done and to do my next best step, right? So when I got done teaching my class at the college, I came here to record. I'm knocking these videos out. I'm just getting through them one after another. I'm going for good enough. I'm not going for perfection. Perfection can be the enemy to progress. And perfection is also an ideal, which all too often just creates suffering, right? So I'm just going for good enough and I got the message out there, and it's better for me to deliver this message in a good enough way than to never deliver this message at all. And so that's part of the mindset that I have as I'm doing this. And to keep the recording clean, to have good volume, I can't run the air conditioner while I'm recording these because it makes too much noise, and then you hear it in the background, and I don't want that. So it's a little bit warm in here, and I'm literally drenched with sweat, right? So right here, you can see I'm kind of sweaty. And if I show you my back, I don't know if you can see my back, I'm kind of sweaty there, but I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. I'm here to do what needs to be done. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to sacrifice, comfort, like having it be a little bit cooler. I'll look a little bit hot. I'll look a little bit sweaty. I'll be a little bit messy, and I'll deliver this in a way that's not perfect so that I can get the job done. So I could get done what I want to have done, and it's going to be good enough, and that's what I'm exhibiting right here. And that's all part of the mindset. That's all part of the mindset, because if you go for perfect, all too often that just derails you and stops you in your tracks. So you go for good enough, you go for acceptance, and you say, hey, and you go for other orientation, like I want to get this out there because I know it will help people. It's going to help people who watch this course. Hopefully it's helping you and you're learning good things from it. And it's also going to help my family, because this is another one of the ways that I help support my family and generate financial health for my families by making these courses. So that's what I'm doing here, and I'm getting it done. And I just want to teach that right now because that's real in the moment, and sometimes the best way to learn lessons is to actually see them in action. And so you just saw grit, you saw mindset, you saw goal setting, like short-term goals, you saw the next best step, right? Like boom, you saw knocking it out. You saw not getting caught in the trap of perfection, because that could be a trap, and instead just trying to really get it done so that I could deliver results and help people. All right, so all of that right there. But now we're going to jump in and talk about actionable steps that you could do to be more successful as a student. And this is stuff that the vast majority of people don't do, like the vast majority. And this is stuff that I did when I was a graduate student, which really helped me become successful as a student. All right, so the first thing you want to know is that what makes you successful in life is what you know, who you know, and mindset. And part of who you know is your professors. And your professors know people. I know somebody who's a super successful venture capitalist in Silicon Valley. I know somebody else who used to be a CEO of an alphabet company. I shared that earlier. I know somebody else who, works with Elon Musk on a regular basis, right? Like I have some pretty high level connections, and I'm just one person. And if I thought more about it, I'm not that far removed from a couple of billionaires. I've actually met, I know people, like my kids used to play with somebody who sold a software company for $2 billion. And my kids still play online with his son, right? Like I know some people, and chances are really good that your professors also know people. And you never know who is going to help you in life or who they know. Somebody that you might normally, not think much about, their brother, their sister, their uncle, their aunt might be somebody. And if you become friends with that person, they might be like, hey, I should really connect you to my aunt. She runs this massive corporation. Oh, that'd be amazing. Let's do it, right? So you really want to be friendly and cultivate your network and like people and enjoy people and be positive and enthusiastic and have great relationships with people and help people, because if you help people, you're actually helping yourself, right? And who you know is critically important to being successful in life. And so to help be successful as a student, you want to get to know people and you want to be known by people. And your professors in particular are in positions of influence. And if you get to know your professors and if your professors like you, they are going to be more likely to help you. So here's the game plan. And this is what I did when I was in graduate school. Like in all of my classes, I would always have a name tag. So you could literally bring a name tag and just set it in front of yourself. But something which I think works really well is on your water bottle or on your laptop, you could go onto Amazon and you could buy letters, right? So here, if I go to Amazon and at Amazon, I'm going to search for letter stickers, okay? And so you could search for letter stickers, and these might be the ones I ordered right here for $5, $4.09. You could order all of these letter stickers, and then you could put on your laptop, you could put your name and put it so when you raise your laptop, it reads correctly and it's not upside down. And on your water bottle, you could put your name. And then when you're in class, if your laptop's open, your teacher can see your name. And when you have your water bottle there, your name's on your water bottle. And this is going to have your professors help your professors get to know you. Okay, it's going to help your professors get to know you. So that's one of the things that you can do to be known. Is name on water bottle or on laptop, right? On laptop. And I kid you not, as a professor, I teach my students this, and then some students do it, some don't. But the students who actually have their names on their water bottles and their laptops, I'm like, hey, Tim, hey, Jim, hey, Susie, whatever their names are, right? Like I talk with them more, I interact with them more, and they've signaled to me that they want to be interacted with, that they want to have a relationship. And you have to choose to interact. Right? You have to realize that you're at college, you're at university for yourself. While it's important to get along well with your peers, you're also there to learn to dialogue differences and speak your mind and learn to speak up and to ask questions. And you're not expected to have the answers. If you had all of the answers, you would be God. And if you had some of the answers in one domain, you might be a professor with a PhD, right? But nobody knows everything. And as a student, you're expected to not know things. So you're expected to ask questions and to not know. And that's one of the things I did differently when I was in grad school. I'd be like, oh, I don't get it. Tell me more about that. Well, how's that work? And I was no longer afraid to ask questions. Or if I was afraid, in moments if there was fear, I did it anyhow. I was like, I don't care what people think, I'm going to act regardless of what people think. I'm going to step outside the lines of conformity. I'm going to speak up. I'm going to dialogue. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to respond when the professor asks questions. Like, I'm going to engage and I'm going to interact. And by doing that, professors got to know me and they knew my name. And so when I finally graduated, they were like, who should we give this award to for being the best student out of all of the graduate students? And they said, let's give it to Todd, of course. Everybody knew me, right? So you want to be known. And not only that, my professors were also like, hey, I want to write a letter of recommendation for you. You need to get your PhD in business. Can I do that? And I was like, yeah, let's do that, right? And my professors were there to help me out, and they were proactive in helping me. They're like, let me show you the path. You should go here. You're doing great. Let me open this door for you. That's what my professors were doing. And so to be known, you have to choose to be known. And one of the ways you could help yourself be known and to know your professors is to put your name on a water bottle and also on the back of your laptop, and then in class. And if any of your peers are like, why you got your name on your water bottle? You say, go take this course, right? Like, I want to be able to be known by my professors, because then they write letters of recommendation, they open doors for me, it's going to help my career. And then your friends will be like, wow, that's really actually pretty smart. And your friends might start doing it too. And then you get to feel the good feeling of helping other people. And so you get to experience that also. So make sure you get your name on your water bottle and on your laptop. And then also make sure that you engage in class and that you're dialoguing and you're asking questions and that you're answering questions. And those are all going to help you. So here's the next thing you could do. You want to call your professors professor. So you just want to default to respect. Right? Just professor, professor, professor. Like, know their name also, but just start out calling them professor. And most students don't call their professors professor, and your professors will appreciate that. And they might tell you to call them somebody else. They might say, call me Jim, or call me Dr. Hemsworth, or whatever, right? But start out, just be like, Professor Hemsworth, Professor Hemsworth. And that's a wonderful thing to call a professor, and the vast majority of professors will appreciate that nod of respect. So call your professors professors. Here's the next thing to do, and this is also what I did. At the end of the semester, get a thank you card. Like, some grocery stores sell them for 99 cents. You could probably buy them on Amazon pretty inexpensively. Get a thank you card and thank your teacher for helping you learn the material that semester, and specifically mention something that you really appreciated learning. get that thank you card, and then give them a little gift also, right? So I would buy candy bars. I'd buy nice candy bars. Like you could go on Amazon, get Lindt Swiss chocolate for like $5 or $6 for a nice candy bar, and I would literally wrap it up as a present, put a bow on it, and I'd give that with a thank you card, and I'd say, hey, thank you very much. I really appreciated you being my professor and sharing everything that you shared with me this semester, and your class meant a lot to me, and I learned a lot, and I appreciate you devoting your life to education and helping me learn, and I just want to give you this as a token of my thanks. And the professors are like, what? Wow, oh my gosh, nobody does this, right? Like that would be, if they didn't articulate that, that would be, the expression I would see on their face. And guess what? If you want to achieve what most people don't achieve, you have to do what most people don't do. And some people might call that being a teacher's pet or kissing up, right? They might say that, but it also can very much be interpreted as just being decent and grateful and appreciative and social and smart, and by also engaging in the reciprocity principle. So this is a known principle in psychology and in business. It's called the reciprocity principle. And what it means is that if you do something for somebody else, they're more likely to reciprocate and do something for you, right? And so by doing a small gesture, it costs you less than $10, a thank you card, and a little candy bar as a gift. By giving them that small gesture, your professor now feels the impulse at an unconscious psychological level to do something nice for you, right? Let me introduce you to somebody. And this is what you do, okay? So end of the semester, and then at the beginning of the next semester, not in the first 3 weeks, because the first 3 weeks are always really busy for everybody on a college campus and a university campus, but like week 4 or week 5, send your professor an email and say, I really appreciate your class. I really enjoy being in your class. And I wanted to get a letter of recommendation for you so that when I go to graduate school or that when I apply for jobs, I have that on file and we could have that letter written. If it needs to be updated a year from now, 2 years from now, when I go on to my next step, we could do that at that point, but we've got that base letter now. And while our relationship's fresh, I want to get a letter of recommendation. Would you be willing to write a letter of recommendation for me? I've attached my resume. I've attached a template letter that I already wrote based upon my experiences in your class. You could use this material to draft your own letter, change my letter however you like. I wanted to make this easy for you. But I'd also really love to have a letter of recommendation for you. So please let me know if that's possible. I'd be honored if you could do it, right? And you could have ChatGPT write all of that for you. It could write your resume for you. It could write your letter of recommendation that you send over as a template for the professor to use to start from. And it could also write the email that you send to your professor asking for that letter of recommendation. Now, of course, you will co-collaborate and co-create with the AI machine to produce that material, but then you send that over to your professor and your professor sends that, will most likely say, yeah, I'd love to give you a letter of recommendation. And then they write you a letter of recommendation. Now, if you go through your undergraduate education and you take, undergraduate education, here we could just come over here and we could say, how many units are an undergraduate education, right? And it's going to be 15, 30, 120. So 120 semester units, right, for an undergraduate degree. And that's like 40 classes, right? So it's like 5 classes every semester, 10 a year. For 4 years, it's like 40 classes times 3 units of class is 120 units. And so if you do this for every class for your entire undergraduate education, you're going to have 40 letters of recommendation. Do you know how many people have 40 letters of recommendation after their undergraduate education? It's a really small number. You are now in the top 1%. You are doing what most people don't do, and you are going to achieve what most people don't achieve. And not only are you going to have those letters of recommendation, you could also then take those letters and put them onto your LinkedIn profile, and you could have them online. So when people look up your profile, when you're going for a job or you're applying to graduate school, they'll be like, wow, look at this undergraduate. This person's 21, 22 years old. They have 40 letters of recommendation, right? Like you are going to be like a slugger. You're going to be like Babe Ruth stepping up to the plate. You're going to knock it out of the park. And so that's the next thing that you do. You get that letter of recommendation and then you get it onto your LinkedIn profile. And then you could bolster your LinkedIn profile with all of your coursework, right? As you're going through your undergraduate education, you could be documenting all of your coursework and have all that accessible. You could also write blog articles, and you could put those onto LinkedIn, and this online reputation that you build will really reflect kind of like, you know, an amazing person who stands way out from what everybody else is doing. And so part of that helps build your online reputation, but also part of your online reputation is you really want to think about what do you post, right? Because people do search and background check people, including looking at their social online information. And so you really want to think about what you post, because if you post wild stuff of you at, you know, drunken parties wearing, you know, crazy outfits, like that might prevent you from getting places in life. But if you do all this other stuff that we just went through right here, these main points right here, extraordinary. That's an extraordinary recipe for success as a student. And then if you do that while you earn your master's, that's another 16 classes. You'll have 56 letters of recommendation. And you go to graduate, then you go on beyond and get your PhD, right? Like you will be so set up for life success. So this is a really small thing. It's putting your name on a laptop and a water bottle. It's calling your professor's professor. It's giving a thank you card and a gift. And it's also asking for a letter of recommendation and making it really easy for your professor to just create that letter of recommendation for you. And if you do those things, you're tremendously going to increase your chances for success in all areas of life. And you're also going to grow your social network and who you know. And you're going to have people who are motivated to help you. And probably they're going to think of you. If you got good grades and you did all this, they'll think of you when they have to nominate who's the best graduate this year. They'll think of you, and then you might get that award also. All right, so that's a bit of what you can do to be a more successful student.